now.
You're live.
We're live?
We're live. Let's go.
Okay, so are we?
We're
All right,
live.
guys. Everybody, welcome to the podcast.
What are you looking at?
We're live.
The camera's not up there.
Oh, where is up there? Okay.
here.
All right, please shut up. And we are debating how we're going to welcome all our guests from all over the world, because we're very grateful for any one of them listening to us, because those are the smartest people in the face of the earth. Now, not only because they're listening to us, because they know that we are unplugged. So the few notes that Marco writes down is only for an outline, not because he needs to read over there. Maybe his father is a little different. That he has to just take all of the stats and up and down. And Mike, he has to read a bunch of BS over here. But the rest of us, we just unplugged. So, Peter, do you have a teleprompter behind me that you can see? Okay.
I can't read that far.
You cannot read that far. Okay.
Why don't you say hello to everybody?
Well, welcome to the podcast. Buongiorno per tutti gli ascoltatori italiani. Bienvenido a todos los señores y señoras della catena del Mundialito aquí a la FTV. Barese. Voglio. Buongiorno a tutti quanti, ok? And don't forget it. Devo say and in barese.
French? Come on.
Ha chiamato da FTV, ha capito? Okay,
French?
The French, I don't know about French. How do you say benvenuto? Is it bonjour? Bonjour, madame, and caballeros. No, caballeros is Spanish. So Arabic. Salam alaikum to all of you guys, okay? And ladies and gentlemen.
And then we got Swedish.
And we got Swedish, which is Mike.
Yeah. Anto, I have a nice and big
Can
for
you
you.
make it a little bigger than that?
This is huge, but I'll make it
Okay.
bigger.
Make it bigger. We had Sia sent this over real quick for Antonio.
And in Swedish, we have Hurmurdu. And then at the end of the phrase said, welcome to the podcast. Welcome till var podcast. And then at the bottom it says Intermerda Milan Bagis. I don't know what does that mean. What does that mean, Milan Bagis? Milan better, right?
I think it means Milan Bagis means Milan merda, basura.
No, I don't think so.
Anto,
I think
they
so.
tricked you.
They tricked you.
tricked you.
Maybe
I think you tricked me.
Maybe it was it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust
April
that
Fool's
guy.
was Thursday. I heard you got tricked there too.
Oh my gosh.
wow.
Oh my god.
You get too excited.
I thought you got we got you so bad.
Listen, I got excited because I didn't. My only excitement was about Conte getting his ass kicked and lose his job. Not because I think I was excited about the job. I really don't care about those losers. Listen, please do me a favor. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Why?
Because the way you guys have been playing, defending that 1-0, it's like you winning. God only knows. It's like life and death. Shame on you.
No, come on.
For you guys, you should be ashamed.
These are the games that when you play poorly, you win. You win.
Any
Scudetto.
kids that is watching a game that you guys play the way you play it, they take the passion out of soccer.
You're right. We should watch Milan the way
take the
Theo
passion
passes
out
the
of
ball
the
to
soccer.
Quagliarella.
Yeah, I'd rather to let them watch that than watching what you guys doing. Disgrace, but okay. You're the first one to criticize Juventus when they're not playing this alla Sarri.
And what have I always said?
That.
And what have I always said?
What did you say?
The winners are able to pull through, play poorly, and win.
So in other words, why don't we kill the game altogether? Okay. Well, let's get you're saying to me that soccer is not important anymore. It's about just
I'm not saying
win
that.
and then
I'm saying
close
you're not
yourself
gonna
down and kill the beauty of the game.
No,
That's
no,
what you just said.
No.
I mean, am I stupid?
Said, I think you're listening.
we
Yeah,
answer
you gotta clean your ears. Because I said certain games you can't play perfectly. You're gonna have bad games throughout the season.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
No, certain games?
Yeah,
What do you
you're
mean
gonna have
certain
bad
games? This
throughout
is
the
what you've
season.
been playing
No,
all
it's not
season. No, it's not true.
How many goals did we score against Milan?
What?
Yeah.
He totally
Versus
forgot.
Milan, we scored a lot.
Anto, you cannot
Listen.
talk
Do me a
like
favor. Just get this guy here out of my side because they're lying. You guys are a bunch of liars.
We gotta
You're
start.
not playing the game the right way. It's disgraceful.
We should play the
Look,
way Theo Hernandez
Cassano, he said it the right way. Everybody hates Cassano, but you know why? Because he says the truth all the time. Cassano said that he will not even play for 15 minutes on a team that Conte is running. That is a disgrace.
And Cassano's God now?
Cassano is an Inter fan, and he's ashamed
Oh,
of
he
the
could
way.
have he's a
Hey! I'm not making this up. You said that Cassano was an Inter fan, wasn't it?
Yes.
He's still an Inter
He
fan
can
as we speak.
critique-
Is he? Yes or not?
Yes.
Question number 2. Did he say that the Inter game sucks and that Conte sucks? Yes or not?
He said they suck. He said
He actually
wouldn't play.
said something worse than that. He said
He has criticized them a lot.
Okay,
Yes.
so what's there? Well, how defend what he just said it if it's not the truth?
Why? I don't have to
Why?
defend.
Why? You don't answer. You don't answer with why. Why is when you ask a question. Defend what
Wow.
you guys are doing.
we're
on
in
the
What
the
am I?
corner.
field.
We're
All
in
I
the
know
corner.
is that you win in Italy. It matters the 3 points, and Inter
No,
is
it's
able
not
to
in
get these
Italy.
3
No, no,
points.
no, don't
Yes,
give me
it is
that in Italy. Oh,
it is
wow.
Italy.
Yeah.
The 3 points matter.
All right,
and we got
listen,
them.
I
And we're
think-
8 points up, and we still have a game at hand.
Thank God you're not teaching my kids how to play soccer or content. Or my kids,
would
my
win.
kids are not learning.
They would win the
My
Scudetto,
kids,
and they
they
would win
have
the World
not
Cup.
learned how to play soccer by watching content.
What about
believe me.
Italy's 2016?
2016? What are you talking about?
2016.
Oh, 2006? What team? Inter?
Italy.
No.
Oh, Italy.
Azzurri.
So what about that?
How did they play?
They play well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did exactly what Conte
No,
does
no,
with
no,
Inter.
no, no, no. That's BS.
No, it's not
BS. BS. Oh, so are you trying to say that now, you
No,
know,
what I'm trying to say is that because they have a solid defensive structure and are able to win, they can't have a perfect game every game. It's impossible. There's
Yep.
38 games
every
to
game,
play.
but they play in the same way, all the time, the same
Not
way.
true.
They score.
They score the most goals in Italy.
Yeah, 20 people on the box, so they're defending against. I understand you're defending against Manchester United or Liverpool or something. You're defending against Bologna with the 12 people almost in front, including the ref was defending. Was helping you guys on the back side of there. What a shame.
It's all right.
All
As
right.
long as we win
Can
the
we change
Scudetto.
subject because this is really?
I
it's
think
a
I think we
waste
need
of
to I
time.
think we need to show some respect. I think we need to start the podcast with a round of applause for our Scudetto winner over here, Mr. Peter.
Wow,
I think-
already? We're-
Applause.
we're not-
Mike,
There's nothing to applaud about that.
nobody's applauding.
I would be ashamed to win a
Listen,
Scudetto like that.
we have to give them credit. Inter today wins over Bologna, Juventus, and Milan, the 2 real challengers for the Scudetto, both draw in poor fashion against teams that they should have beaten against. And I think it's fair to finally say that Inter have won the Scudetto. Congratulations to Inter. And I will go as far to say that Inter are the team that deserved to win the Scudetto. They've been the best team over the entire season. They deserve to win the league. And I think that it's really a foregone conclusion at this point.
Peter-
if we didn't know it before, which a lot of us did, then
So
you know it
winning
now.
ugly
Wait.
makes a team the best team. Winning ugly, it's making a
Listen.
team doing was the best team
No,
by
I mean,
winning
what were you
ugly.
gonna say,
You,
Mike?
you gotta give credit where it's due, but I was gonna say I feel like Peter cringed a little bit when you said they, the
Congratulations,
Scudettos to Inter. What percentage now? I think you said 80% chance from last time. Now they got 2 more points on top of it. What would the percentage be now for Inter?
88% chance. We got to win versus Wednesday is an important game.
So
Is every game.
Wednesday is an important game.
I'll say Inter, I think, does deserve it. I think they have the best coach. They've got the best
Again.
team,
best team, yeah, for
the
sure.
best players, and they've got the best management. I think also credit to Marotta for what Marotta did to build this team, because you're seeing the fruits of the labor right now. They built a solid squad. They got
did.
great guys like Barella, like Lukaku, that some people
Hakim,
didn't believe in.
And they have the best bank, right? The bank.
Yeah, they spent
Okay.
money, but they spent it in the right ways, and a lot of those guys have come up. So he built this team from dust in a very smart way, and I think also credit to. So I said Conte, I said the players, I said the director. Credit to Zhang and the ownership of Inter, because they were very smart. They did not reinvent the wheel like some of these presidents and ownership clubs do. They saw exactly what worked. They saw how Marotta and Conte rebuilt Juventus from the bottom, similar position where Inter were. They redid that at Inter, and they did a great job. They executed the plan, and they won, and they deservedly. I don't think anyone could sit here and say that Inter are not the best team.
No, it's true.
Tell me when you
I agree
finish.
with you.
I'm
finish?
done.
Okay, all right. Can I read back? Can I
Of
give you
course,
my
rebuttal.
5 cents or my 1 cent? Put it this way. First of all, I wanted to see if Inter would be put in a position to start at the same level of everybody. You give $10 each to the manager of the team. I said, those are $10, okay? Go to the supermarket, spend the money, bring the ingredient over, and make the best meal out of it.
I understand
and then
what you mean.
the winner is going to be the best cook.
I understand
You're
what you mean.
You're starting with $300 million ahead of everybody. You buy out all the competition. You buy yourself all the best player. You take the competition away from everybody else, and then you win. Where is the competition over there? There is no competition.
Antonio, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
You guys are starting with $10. Milan.
Actually, we started with below $10.
Yeah. Tonali, how much did you spend on Tonali? How much?
I don't know.
Oh,
Not
find out.
much less than what you
I
guys
think you guys
spend on
spend
Lukaku.
more. You spend more on Tonali than Inter spend on Barella.
BS.
Okay,
Yeah,
check it.
I think you might be
BS.
right.
Check it. Fact
I'll
check
check.
it.
But,
So,
but
okay.
either way, at the end of the day, they have the team right now. So we're talking about what they have right now. We already talked about the transfer market, who spent what. But we're talking about the teams that are at the disposal right now. You have to admit, who's been the best team? Inter's been the best team.
Let me put it this way to you. For all the money that they spend
We
and
don't
all
spend
the
as much
efforts financially, to the point that they were at the risk, they still are at the risk not to make payroll for the players. Let me finish. They should have won the campionato from the fifth game of the year. Now they can put themselves. They can say
With 12 points almost.
Okay, so this is telling you poor management. They won because all the rest of the team they fell asleep and because they didn't have the resources. They won because of COVID and because there are so many other factors. So this win is like it's gonna go like one of the worst ugly win in the history of the game.
We beat Juve.
So,
We
but
beat
nevertheless,
Milan.
I can congratulate
We
you,
beat
Pete.
Napoli.
Congratulations.
We beat all the top teams.
Congratulations, Pete.
We beat
Congratulations.
Atalanta.
Guess what?
You
Pete?
guys got killed by Atalanta.
Pete, guess what? Ask me if I give a shit. Ask me. Say, Antonio,
You
do you
will,
give a shit?
because Inter's gonna win the
Ask me.
Scudetto.
Say, ask me, Antonio, do you give a shit? Ask me. Say, please, ask me. What? I'm asking you as a favor.
Do you care?
I don't want to.
No, tell me if I give a shit. Say,
Do you
Antonio,
give a shit,
No,
Antonio?
sorry, I really don't.
It's okay. I don't give a shit either.
Listen, I think that the real challenger, like
Nobody
we all said,
cares. Nobody really cares.
We'll get to
And they spend more on Tonali, by the way.
You see?
we'll get to Milan.
Thanks,
Milan spent more on Tonali than Inter spent on Barella. Case closed.
Okay, what
we'll
about
get-
Lukaku? What about all the rest of the losers that you have over there? All the free transfers and all the
Eriksen
stuff.
was cheap.
Cheap, yeah. Like what? A potato chip?
Almost.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll get to AC Milan in a bit. I think that the big talking point is Juventus because it's the first time that I think that the organization and the fans feel like they've lost the league after 9 years of pure domination, where there hasn't been another team that was able to win or break the cycle. It looks like, and I would say that Inter is the team that breaks that cycle for Juventus. It's disappointing. I think that for some fans, like us Juventus fans have won so much. That we're kind of like, it's a weird feeling because all we've done is winning. And there's some fans who are young that they don't even remember not winning a league because it's been so long. It's been a decade. But that time was always going to come to an end. It's not normal to win every single year. In normal times, it went back and forth. So I think for a lot of fans, it's hard to grasp. And I think that it makes it a little bit more difficult because we've said this, and Marchisio even said that the Juventus mistakes have been coming since Allegri's last year, which is exactly what I was saying for quite some time. And I think that it hurts just because of the way that Juventus fell, right? It's not really... you remember the year with Napoli and Sarri where they were fighting neck and neck, and if Napoli would have won that year, the best team won. This was a Juventus who just fell apart. And yes, I admit that Inter have been better. It's a team that really crumbled on itself. If you look at the mistakes that they've making, tying to Torino, losing matches where you should have been able to win. So I think that that's why it hurts. It's like watching someone slowly die. You're just like you can't help it in a sense. I will say though, this 9-year era will never be repeated. It will never be repeated. Your triplete, I will bet you that a triplete gets repeated before any one of your teams wins 9 in a row. So that will go down in history.
Won't be Juve, but
they have every single thing to be proud of because nobody in Italy will beat this record. And
Please.
you'll never beat this record. And I'll say one more thing.
07 Champions
I
League?
hope not.
I'll say one more thing. This team should not have even gotten to 9. Inter screwed up last year where they didn't win, so we already gotten 1 extra. So we already won. It would have been nice to go to the 10, but last year Inter
crying
should have
like
won.
a baby,
That's
like a
it.
mea culpa. Listen to me. Let me tell you, you are a baby.
How
Let
do
me
they
tell you
do the
something.
mea culpa
Shut up.
in-
doing
in-
my. I'll tell you what. It's their fault. It's their fault.
You
It
gotta
is
do
our
it.
fault.
Do it.
Listen
Do
to
it.
me.
It is our fault. We gave them Marotta and Conte.
Let me-
It was our fault.
You gave it to them. Come on, those are all backstabbers. Forget about it. Listen to me. This is my take on the.
Give us your take.
I'm gonna summarize
Give
what
us your
went
take.
on in one entire years in couple sentences.
Wow, you're good. All right, guys. Today we have our new and one of our first sponsors right now from Manscaped. They are supporting IFTV's podcast. It is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming hygiene. Manscaped is taking over the world and is now available in Europe, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the movement for all your below-the-waist grooming needs. Europe and Australia is about to get a lot less hairy. We know we've got all of you Europeans and Australians out there. Happy Australia Day, by the way. Great day for this. That's right, folks. If you live in Europe, you can now purchase Manscaped products. If you live there, you've gone years without using the right tools for the job. Michael was just telling me before. Mike, what's your story?
Dude, my last trimmer I had, first of all, it nicked like crazy. This one, I even rushed. I wanted to make a mistake, and no nicks. I almost got mad that I didn't get nicks. I was going quick with it, and yo, it's waterproof. You could do it in the shower. The flashlight is sick. And the battery lasts so long, so it's night and day so much better than my last
that is
one.
why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped and engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just now released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, which is what we have right next to us. Like you said, Michael, featuring cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. What I'll tell you is this is premium. Mike, how premium does that feel?
This is really, really high. You think it's 3 times the amount of the cost, but it's so much cheaper. And plus the referral code that we have for you guys, even cheaper, right?
20% off if you use IFTV right now. Guys, that is IFTV. Use that code. You will get 20% off this entire package, even the ball toner, everything that is available over here. We even had people send us videos. We had somebody send us a picture that they ordered with our code. We've had tons of people through our Instagram. So guys, get 20% off and free shipping with the code IFTV at manscaped.com. That is 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code IFTV. Your balls will thank you. Guys, go do that. Let's get back to the show.
Inter winning this year is a combination of 4 or 5 or 6 of the best team restructuring. Like Juventus should have just, they didn't buy enough players. They got into Pirlo, they got into, keeping Chiellini, Bonucci, and all of those old timers, and Buffon, still hoping that they will make a difference, and continue the streak. AC Milan, they were on the verge to be sold and to be managed by this Ragnic and all that stuff. I said, in the middle of the stuff.
How's this different from what I said?
Wait a moment, let me finish. I said, a lot of those top teams restructuring, and Inter still buying the stuff. It's the only thing that put them over the top, on the top of the COVID.
We're in agreement.
But Inter should not be given all the credit. Inter, they caught everybody else asleep. This is the reasons why they won, not because they deserve to win.
But you have to give them credit for that too.
But because they deserve to win.
You have to give them credit for that too.
It's been 3 years in the making. It's not like it happened overnight. It's been 3 years. Even when Spalletti was the coach, when we made the Champions League, that was the objective. The objective was to get better year after year. So you want to say, oh, Inter only won because everybody else is restructuring. Juventus' last maybe 4 Scudetti were all based on that. Milan weren't relevant. Inter weren't relevant.
Not last
year. The only
year.
team that was Napoli. So, I mean...
Not last year.
Last year, Inter
the
was
one before
relevant.
the one
before that?
Yeah.
That was the one you should have won too.
Okay, but what I'm trying to say is, if you want to say, okay, the tail end of the Juve and the first couple, then in between there, I mean, Juventus didn't have any challenge.
I don't see us disagreeing.
If that's
here,
what we have to argue.
No, wait a moment. But
we're agreeing.
Listen,
though.
those guys, they were almost on the ER with a tube on their mouth because they were almost dead. So this is the only thing that they cringed on, the Scudetto.
That's not
because
true. That was what you made it
They
seem
were
like.
humiliated on the Champions League. They got kicked out.
I bet you if the Champions League started now, it would be a whole other Inter team.
Again,
it was a whole other Inter team.
You guys got humiliated
mentality.
on the Champions League. You got humiliated at every competition.
No, every competition.
Then you didn't even make it the UEFA because you were not even good enough to. Okay, so I'm just telling you ahead of the time. You got out poorly, even to the Coppa Italia. This is the only thing that you were left. And the fact that Juventus, wait a moment, and the fact that Juventus, Inter, AC Milan, Napoli, and Roma, they went farther than you guys.
Inter beat Milan to get into the semifinal of the Coppa Italia.
Okay, you do not understand. It's either you do not want to understand or you just don't understand.
No, you're creating a new story.
The fact that we went so much farther
Where?
ahead
So much farther. We're in Europa
into
League.
the international
You were
competition. It
Europa
doesn't
League.
matter. We were forced to play 4 or 5 games that you guys did not play, and then that took away a lot of the energy and the effort that we should. That if we played with the same kind of energy and effort, including Juventus into the
Right now, there was no
You would
Europa League influence on this game. You guys tied to Sampdoria.
You know what I actually wanted to add here, Anto? I feel like you are making some excuses.
I'm not making some
excuses.
excuses.
No, you are. But you got to give credit. I wanted to add. I feel like I was being harsh on Inter a little bit in terms of getting out of the group stage, because yes, they got out of group stage, but at the end of the day, every other Italian team exited the round after. So they played 2 extra games. Yes, Inter should have went through the group, but at the end of the day, even I was saying that Inter maybe they wouldn't have this many points distant if they went further in the Champions League, like Juve, like Atalanta, like Lazio. But at the end of the day, those teams only played an extra 2 games, and how much more would 2 games take away from the points that they have now? So I think that's definitely a perspective to look at, because a lot of people are saying, oh, but you know, they're disgraced, they got eliminated in groups, they got this. But then if you look at the other teams, it gives you more of a perspective in that, okay, say Inter had 2 more games like the rest of the Italian teams, how much more of a difference would their lead be as of now? They're 8 points up with a game in hand in first place. And there's a second year, and they really, I feel like they found a characteristic and identity to themselves.
It also comes down to, yes, there's a big disappointment for Inter going back to, you know, the Champions League failure, not getting out of the group stage. But it would be foolish to say, oh, Inter were expected to make it into, you know, the quarterfinals, semifinals of the Champions League, where they haven't won in 10 years.
Yeah.
So there's a stepping stone. I think you have to, it's a mentality. You have to create the winning mentality. Antonio, it's a mentality. And the reason why is you can see the last 4 or 5 games that Inter have played, and I agree with you, they played like shit. I'll say it. They play like shit. But what's the difference between this year and last year? They win these games. They are able to win this game and grit it out, and that's what makes winners. And what happens is, I told you, I think if the Champions League started now, Inter would get out of the group stage in first place.
Oh, yes. Okay, this ifs and buts doesn't mean shit to begin with.
I'm not saying anything.
Let me tell you something.
I'm saying that the mentality is going to be a big difference. And next year, Inter better get out of the group stage.
Let me tell you something, okay? I want you to just keep it right here. If my mother will tell me, hey, this is $10, I want you to come back with Scudetto, Coppa Campioni, Coppa Italia, Coppa UEFA, e Coppa del Nonno. Here is the ice cream. And then I can only come back with a campionato. You know what my mother will do? I gave you enough money to buy all of this thing here. And what did you do? You came with this. What happened? You made yourself to be robbed. So
what are you talking about? So you have guys that have double the bankroll.
Don't put PSG.
Yes,
this is
I put PSG. You're talking about Champions League, no?
No, we're talking about Serie A.
Oh, Serie A.
I gave you $10. You've been given $10 to bring all of those things over. And instead of 5 items, you brought 1 miserable item. It's either you don't know the shop, you don't know where to shop, or you don't know how to spend your money. So, to make a long story short, you came up short in all the competition except for the campionato, which is the items that nobody gives
with his top. Winning the Scudetto, everyone cares about.
His top? Yes. Not us. We don't care about that.
You should care
about we
about
don't.
It. You should care
no,
about
we don't.
I want to transition a little bit. I have a couple questions. I was talking about Juve. I think for Juve, it's finally the time to rethink and rebuild. There's no more of this the stop gates. I think that everyone who hasn't realized over the past couple of years, who's kind of been lying to themselves in terms of what the true problem is, it's out in the open now. Even the most obvious of people can understand what the true problem is, and I think it's time to accept it. It's time to accept. All right, listen, you have to rebuild. And the difference between, you know, a champion and an amateur is the champion's willing to suffer through that pain and come out stronger, and instead of just trying these things that they've tried for the past 3 years, which have not worked. So I think that's the hope for Juve. It's to really dig deep and find out what those problems are and try to solve those problems from now until the start of next season. And I believe in Juve in terms of that they won't do that they won't go a decade without winning again, that they'll learn from their mistakes. Yes, you lose 1 year, but how do we get better and how do we put ourselves back on track? the thing is right now, and I think this is the conversation, is Juventus also can risk the Champions League at a certain point because the competition for this 4th place is tight with Napoli. And some are asking if Juventus would not, at this moment right now, should Juventus let go of Pirlo to try to get the Champions League, or should they stay with Pirlo? Because at this point, I know a lot of people are getting fed up a little bit with the situation. What's your take?
Pirlo's got nothing to do with this.
No, if you want to talk about Pirlo staying and whatnot, I think Juventus made a decision. You have to stay with the decision. You keep Pirlo, and you have to start looking at the roster, looking at management, and really going through everyone and saying, okay, this is a guy that we want a part of the project. This is a guy we have to get rid of. There's a lot of salaries there that these guys should not be starters for Juventus, and they're making over 7-8 million a year. That's a problem. So it's about continuing the project, understanding what stage Juventus is in, but you guys still have some top players. I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala. You don't think Cristiano Ronaldo?
Listen,
well, hold on. De Ligt, Artur, Quadrado, you know, the Chiesa, who I like. You've always been against him, but I've always liked Chiesa.
Chesney,
yeah. Chesney made 2 fucking disasters today.
No, I'm saying in general.
Lately.
But
I'm not gonna base off a few good.
You know,
but you're only as good as your last at bat.
Buffon.
But that's
you couldn't because he got kicked off because he said nothing. But that's besides the point. He was suspended for saying nothing. But
so there's 4 or 5 players that I think make up a championship team.
I have a different take on that.
I have a question for Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Would you keep Pirlo for the rest of the season, or do you sack him and get somebody to run the rest of the year?
The thing is, I think it would be a clown move to sack Pirlo now, just because Agnelli's talking about whatever new beginning. We're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to endure through this pain, create a real project, and by doing that, that's just going based off whim and be like, oh, it's not working out. I think give Pirlo till the end of the season, see how it's going, see if you can get players, and see if he's the correct coach. But I definitely wouldn't sack Pirlo mid-season.
Do Juventus still qualify for Champions League?
Yeah, I think Juve. The past 2 games they dropped points, yes, against inferior competition, but I don't think it's just temporary right now, and I think they gotta wait it out. They shouldn't make any rash decisions like that or anything.
Last thing I'll say on Juve is that for all the people who this was very much expected by those who could see through the lines in terms of what the team was. For me, this is a rebuilding year. I don't care what you want to say. You have Ronaldo, it's not a rebuilding year. It doesn't matter what you have. It's what's at your disposal. It was not a year that you were going to go and win the Scudetto. If any fans thought that, then your expectations were mismanaged. So I'm not surprised that Inter are going on to win the Scudetto.
Wait, you said that Juventus shouldn't have won the Scudetto, you're saying?
I'm not saying shouldn't. Your goal is always to win the Scudetto, of course. But if you look at this realistically, it's kind of like, and I'm not going to say that Juventus is better than Milan in terms of squad depth and in terms of the team value, right? But you see how Milan overachieved in the beginning of the year? How Milan overachieved in the beginning of the year, where they were Campioni d'Inverno, and everybody got excited. They're going to win. They were overachieving. They were never expected to go in the Scudetto, where now Milan, there are people who are making fun of Milan like, oh, look how you're dropping points. No. Milan's goal is getting top 4. It's not winning the league. Yeah. For Juve, in my opinion, the way that I saw this, I was already expecting that Inter would go on to win this year, so you're not expected to win.
I wouldn't say... I think Inter and Juve were the main favorites for the Scudetto. I wouldn't be like, oh, Juve didn't have any chance. But it was between them two.
But it was pretty much that, in my mind, and I think everyone here said that Inter would go on to win the Scudetto as favorites.
I think the beginning of the season, when we all said this, we said Pirlo is going to be a big question mark.
Yeah.
And it's remained that way, where we don't really know what is the real Pirlo.
He
still hasn't realized this team. He still hasn't He starts to understand this team, and he's still struggling with making selections. It's more than him. Yeah. But I think now, the season that Juventus is having, you come to a point where you're at a fork in the road. You have to make one decision or another decision. So I think one decision is you have a meeting with Ronaldo, and you say, we're going to buy 2-3 players that are top quality, and we're ready to spend the money to go for back into Scudetto, go back into Champions League, because I think you're just missing around 2-3 players, right? Or you tell Ronaldo, hey, listen, we're going to start a whole new project, and Ronaldo, time to sell you because we'll make some money off of that, and we take money off the books. My idea.
Can I have my 5 cents in all of
and
this
then we
discussion?
move on.
Okay,
I don't want to talk about
First of all,
this anymore.
Juventus, they handcuffed themselves with this Ronaldo to the point now that they have a hard time deciding whether they should get rid of him or whether they should not get rid of him and rebuild. Ronaldo, it's somebody that even the fact that he's been scoring for Juventus all the time, it's a team that it's a guy that made Juventus depending on him. So if you want to rebuild around Ronaldo, I think you're making the biggest mistake. Let's go back to Pirlo. Pirlo was dealt cards, like, you know, when you play poker, even though I don't know how to play it, but then I see when people, they play. So he's been dealt cards that they were shitty. So even by bluffing, how do you say bluffing, he couldn't do much, because when you got shit on your hands, at some point you're going to say, okay, guys.
They see the brown, right?
Yeah, they see the brown coming out of the
all right,
of the
all right.
Listen to this.
This is disgusting.
Listen to this. So the bottom line is Pirlo's gonna. Juventus knew that Chiellini was in good shape. His age was another factor. Bonucci is the same thing. They bought his Deli. Oh, Deli. What is going to do, Deli? Deli is not going to score 30 goals from you. He's going to add to the defensive
Juventus have the best defense in Serie A right now.
It doesn't matter. They're now winning. They made themselves depending on Ronaldo. Ronaldo is not going to be the franchise player for the next 2-3 years. So get rid of him and starting to build a team that is not going to depend on one player.
Yeah.
So they're starting to devalue Dybala because Dybala is not producing for them because he's been injured and all the stuff. Juventus has got a lot of question mark. They're not going to be winning the next 2-3 years. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be easy. And Pirlo is the last person that anyone should be blaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just want to say that it's not so much that you know, a lot of people are going to have a hard time saying, oh, getting rid of Ronaldo. And you have to evaluate it. But let's not forget, Juventus got rid of one of the best players in the world, Zidane, and got, 2-3 really good players that lasted a long time and made Juventus a winning beast that it is.
You're not going to beat the transfer fee, though. When they sold Zidane, they got it. What was it? A world record?
It was a world record.
Ronaldo,
whatever.
you're going to sell him for
cheaper.
Nothing.
I don't think you sell him for nothing.
Cheaper than you got it for.
Not that you're going to go out and be able to buy.
You're not going to have a ridiculous sum.
No, but you're saving money on his salary.
I can find you some
money on the other stuff.
To me, the problem, just get a couple of midfielders. And get a couple of midfielders.
Such as, for example?
I've given so many names over. I've been saying names.
Barella, Verratti, or what else you want?
You're not going to get Barella.
Why would Barella go there?
He's on Inter.
Okay, so you get good midfielders.
No. You need really good midfielders who actually support Ronaldo. Ronaldo scored 24 goals. Ronaldo's a capocannoniere. Lukaku, Muriel, Ibra, everybody's behind him. So anyone who says Ronaldo's a problem, again, it's crazy to even think to let him go. I would never let Ronaldo go. Good luck replacing a guy that's going to score 30 goals in the year. Good luck. You find the salary in many other ways. But whatever. The problem with Juventus is much deeper. It's much deeper than, get rid of Ronaldo. Go this. You have to analyze it 360. Let's move on. Let's talk about AC Milan. AC Milan's tied 1-1 against Sampdoria. Quagliarella taking advantage of a poor mistake from Theo Hernandez. And then Milan late on into the match, I think 87th minute, Hogg scored a great goal, a great build-up goal that really saved Milan because they needed at least a tie in this one. Milan's hopes, obviously, of the Scudetto crash today, as well as Juventus's, both with ties. If there was any real hope to go on and win it, would have been today. Lots of mistakes from Milan and not enough urgency until those last couple minutes, in my opinion. And I wasn't even sure that they were going to be able to tie at a certain point. I don't know how you felt.
No, I didn't watch the game because I was with Frank the Tank at the Ferrari outing this morning, but I saw some highlights when I came back home. And, I saw the comments that Pioli released on the press conference. They said that Milan didn't show up to play today, and they were very sluggish, and they didn't have not even an effort. Forget about the best effort, because you can win even with an effort. But they were really, they were not into the game. All the players, they were not into the game. I didn't watch the game. I'm not sure. But, hey, listen, there is no excuse. You don't deserve to win. You don't win. Okay? So if they tied, because even undeservedly, so... like those guys, if they can win ugly, we can tie the game, and you know, from time to time you take not the credit. You say, okay, thank God we did tie the game. We're not into the fight for the Campionato because according to you guys, the Campionato is over again. So our goal is to win to be one of the four places on for the champions. And well, let's hope that we're still over there because the competition on the behind Inter is going to be very fierce in the next few games.
Does Theo Hernandez scare you? Do you think that sometimes he goes up too much, that he causes you a problem?
Yeah, there is too much. The gap is too much between the good stuff that he does and the shitty stuff. So I want him to come down a little bit closer to the middle, you know, on the upper end and the lower end, and then have a Theo Hernandez that is a lot more consistent on his playing defensively and offensive game at the same time.
That might be the most level-headed thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah, I didn't expect that from you. But
I thought you were gonna scream at me.
Theo, I feel like I like Theo, but defensively he's not good. They should. Pirlo's not going to change a thing, but if he plays
at
like
Pirlo, by the way, it's
Pioli. I said.
Oh, Pioli. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said Pirlo.
No,
I'm
saying Pirlo wouldn't change it, but if he plays like a left mid or left wing back, I feel like Theo would be more capable for that because he likes attacking more rather than defending, and he doesn't have as many defensive responsibilities as much. But yeah, horrible pass from Theo, and even though Milan did not play good, they almost won it in the 93rd minute. Kessie hit the post. I was like, oh my God, Milan are going to pull off a win. But yeah, man, it didn't look like they cared. I feel like they weren't running. The last few minutes when they got the equalizer, that's when, you know, they were pushing forward for a goal. But I was very disappointed for Milan. I expected them to do better, especially because they're in second place.
You don't look that disappointed to me,
first.
Mike. You don't look that disappointed. Yeah, you can see, Mike.
He's smiling.
Yeah,
Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
The emoji disappointment that he said. Yeah, with a smile. I'm so disappointed. Ooh, I'm disappointed, guys.
Listen, the thing is, you had an international break where they've played 3 games in 10 days.
Who's they? They who?
Everyone that's gone out to international break, they have played 3 games in 10 days. Now you come back, limited time to practice, traveling across the world. It takes a toll.
Yeah.
And it's not just Milan, Juventus. All these top teams have always struggled when there's an international break. The first week, they're getting back into the rhythm. So it happens. It sucks that Milan loses an opportunity to get closer to Inter, to put pressure on Inter, because Inter still had the game versus Bologna. As a Milan fan, of course.
Politics.
But
intellectual.
But I was going to say Theo Hernandez. I was talking with Dario. You guys know Dario. So he brought up a good point.
That guy owes us a dinner, by the way.
Well, we'll get one.
That guy said Pinamonti was going to be top goal scorer.
This guy.
I don't see him anywhere on my list.
My friend Dario Napoletano.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
All right.
But he's a nice kid, though.
Yes, he is.
He's a nice kid. Much better than you.
I believe it. So I was getting at this, and maybe sorry to go off topic, but he said, I've noticed a lot of mistakes this year. And I wonder if it's the players that are losing concentration, because in what sense? There's no fans.
I
so
agree,
the fans,
1000%.
They keep you on that tense mode, and you're kind of like consistently reminded. Even when like someone's coming behind you, like you'll hear the fans. Oh, they'll give you that warning, right? Yeah. And you get the ball away. Like he was referring to Theo Hernandez's mistake this morning, and then Maximovic, who made a huge blunder. That maybe if there's fans warning him that there's a guy on your back, you kick it out. You know, Alexandro making a pass. You know, so he's seen a lot of these mistakes, and he posted a question saying, "Do you think?" And maybe we can even ask the fans. We can post on a Instagram post.
It's COVID related. I said it on one of my things. It's definitely the COVID has done the job.
Without the fans, these players have a little bit
edge.
No, but besides the edge, like their concentration levels aren't as high as they usually would be.
I think COVID. This is the only.
Maybe that's why Conte does so well, because Conte is the one screaming and
they probably benefited. No, probably the only reasons why they benefited for this was COVID. It was COVID. I don't give a shit about Inter.
You just said
but you're always talking about.
No, I said the only reasons why this è un campionato falsato is because
campionato falsato is because you tie versus Sampdoria and they tie versus Torino.
Campionato falsato is because you've been forced to play every 3 days.
Everybody has the same.
You've been forced to play every 3 days.
Everybody has the same restrictions.
A lot of people.
It's not the same. There are certain teams that have played with 13 players that have COVID, and certain teams have not.
We wanted to play
with the same team.
I'm just saying it's not the same. I didn't say who had the benefit. I'm just saying it's not the same. There are certain teams
the same.
who have played with less, and there are certain teams that have played with more.
Marco has a
The rules
point.
have gotten
Marco has a
changed.
point.
The rules have gotten
You gotta
changed.
They
say
get
straight.
bended,
Yeah, it's
they get
bent.
bended
You
for
gotta say
somebody
straight
in one
though,
way
yeah.
and for some other in another way.
If everybody
wasn't fair,
played no
bro.
matter what, then I would say yes. But there's been a few games that have had restrictions. I'm not saying that it was bent in your favor. What I'm saying is that that's the truth. That certain games have got canceled and certain games haven't.
So you are not saying that I've been on their favor. I am saying that they were bended on their favor. So that's your problem. That's not my problem. Don't feel sorry about criticizing those people because those are the first people that they will be on top of you.
How many penalties
just
Milan
for
get this
nothing?
year?
Forget about that.
That's true.
Next question.
You guys got the most penalties.
Yeah, let's
He's
go.
the other Milan fan, you see? You guys. He said,
a
you guys, that means he's
tifoso.
out. He's out of the class. You guys.
No,
that means you're not one of
I thought you were
scumbag.
I was gonna beat me over here.
Napoli Crotone was a thriller. 7 goals,
Oh my
4-3. Lots of mistakes from Mr. Manolas and Mr. Maximovic over here for them. I'll let you guys.
I
I'll
didn't
let
watch
you
the
talk
game.
about Napoli. I just want to say my boy Simy from Crotone scored 2 goals. He is now only Muriel, Lukaku, and Ronaldo have scored more goals than Simy this Serie A season. And Simy has the most goals in Europe's top 5 leagues since March
Is he Italian
2021.
or is some of
He's
Croatian?
Nigerian.
Oh, Nigerian?
Yeah.
Croatian? Where'd you get Croatian from? Where did Croatia
I
go
said
from?
Simy.
No,
Simy.
Simy.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
How do you spell that? How
Crotone.
do you spell that?
Simy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So just shout out,
Check the spelling, I'm sorry.
shout out to my boy because he's just been sensational,
It's your
scoring
guy?
so many goals.
How do
Yeah,
you know
he's our
him?
boy.
Wow.
You don't know? You didn't come out last week.
Make
We
a
were with him.
WhatsApp group with us.
He came over to New York. You didn't see him?
No, when we went to the rooftop that day that we invited you.
Oh, but
didn't
I wasn't.
wanna come.
You invited me. You didn't invite
Yeah,
Yeah,
me.
we
we did.
invited you.
Oh, yeah?
He
Yeah,
came
we
by.
did. You said you didn't want to eat any fish because
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Simy Uno di Noi. He came here mid-season just to have some muscles with us.
Talk about Napoli.
But
Mike.
yeah, the Napoli
how are you?
game-
How do you, Michael?
First of all,
Michael,
yeah.
how do you defend your Manolas?
The thing is, there's no defending. Listen, I like my.
Exactly.
Unintended.
Exactly.
Unintended.
I didn't want to say
Say
that.
something nasty in Greek
So
to him.
listen, no, I don't want to say anything.
Malaka.
Hey, that's another language.
That's a Malaka.
7. You get it
How do
7.
you say? We're gonna say that we're gonna welcome all the Greek fans that we have. How do you say welcome? Hella,
Say
hella.
kalosorisame. Kalosorisame.
Kalosorisame.
That means like what?
Kalosorisame.
Wow,
And
you
then
said it pretty
Kalimera. Kalimera means see you later, right?
No, that's good morning.
Ah, good morning. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so this
as long as they
Napoli.
don't call you
Got
Malaka.
close. Got close.
Okay, so this
Ella.
Napoli game 4-3 against Crotone.
Wait, you didn't answer my question.
what?
How do you defend
I was gonna
Manolas?
say the whole.
No, I want to know
Yeah,
this.
say it, Mike.
We want.
say it.
I don't want to
Okay,
switch. How do you defend
I'm
Manolas?
going
said
back
no
to defending.
defending.
Koulibaly was suspended, so Maximovic and Manolas played. Manolas played bad. Maximovic played bad. Very bad defending. Very, very bad. I can't even. I saw it. I'm like, gee. Like I saw it. I was thinking in my head. I was like, maybe it's not so bad. I was like, crap, that was bad.
I think you used
cleared
bad
it right
7
to him.
times in the past
Because-
one.
We need a
two
bad
sentences.
counter.
Because when I was watching, I was
It
like,
was
that's
bad. It
I
was bad. It was
bad,
very
bad.
It was
bad.
very horrible defending. Maximovic too, man. He didn't see someone over his shoulder. Manolas cleared it right to the Crotone players. Unacceptable. I thought Napoli were gonna end up getting a draw, but they ended up getting the winner at the end. Di Lorenzo, beautiful cut, bottom left corner with the left foot. But they had to score 4 goals to get the 3 points against Crotone, who were last place.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
That's crazy.
I feel like I really thought it was going to end in a 3-3. And I felt bad for... I didn't even care for Manolas. I was like, I hope Napoli win just for Gattuso. Because Gattuso gets so much
see how they flip?
criticism and all this stuff. And I was like, he doesn't deserve all. He's not defending like these idiots over here. So I was like, for Gattuso's sake, I hope Napoli get the 3 points.
One question for Antonio, real quick. What would you do with Manolas and
man.
Maximovic?
Listen,
Maximovic was worse. I don't want to defend him,
I like
but it was
Maximovic
worse.
slightly better because I think he's got a little bit more skills than Manolas. But Manolas, I think is done with his career. I think it's a middle of a
28.
mezza classifica. It's a player that can play for Genova or Sampdoria
Or Milan or something.
You know,
Milan.
it's not a top player that can be on the top 5 teams. So it's done.
Do you agree
It
or
was done
disagree?
last year.
No, I don't think he's a mid-table. He's having a very bad season.
He's been having bad seasons the last 3 years.
I don't think he's a mid-table player though. He's not a world-class player. He's in the middle of mid-table,
Like 8 to
and
12.
top.
He's like 8 to 12.
It could be a top Serie B player.
8 to 12.
It could be a top Serie B player.
That's true. That's actually a good point.
Okay.
Top
I'm
Serie B.
done.
Top
Maybe
Serie B.
Campobasso.
I'm not taking the bait.
No,
I'm not
I don't think he's going to
I'm
make
not taking
Campobasso
the bait.
squad. No.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
not
They
taking
look
the
good this
They're
year.
very good.
That's true.
They're very good at Campobasso. We don't take garbage at Campobasso.
Wait, Peter, real quickly. I'm on a loss. Is it just a bad
Napoli,
citizen
Napoli,
or what a thing?
Napoli.
Honest, come on.
First off, you said, "Oh, I don't feel bad for Manolas." I would feel bad for Manolas because Gattuso in the locker room probably beat him up. You ever see
He'd
the
have a
Arab?
black
You ever
eye.
see the Arab meme?
He must have called him
Yeah,
Malacas
yeah,
100
That's
times.
Gattuso right
He
now.
must have told him
But,
Malacca in Calabrese 100 times. Minchia, testa di menghia.
Gattuso coached in Greece, so he knows a few words.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No, but we see a lot of players that they have a great beginning of their career or playing, and then just kind of fall off. And ever since the move to Napoli, Manolas has been a shadow of himself. And I don't know what it really is. If it's maybe he needs a change of scenery, I think that could be it,
I
or
don't know
just
what
that
it
he's
is.
I know
lost
what
his,
it is.
he's lost his step. He's not, because we always joked, but Manolas when he was with Roma was one of the fastest guys, fastest defender. He put in good numbers.
He looks like a
now
mozzarella
I have
right
no
now.
idea if he's even at that point. So he's got to stay healthy. I think. I would still give him one more shot, but at that point, it's too late.
He's what Manolas is.
It's like an expired mozzarella. Mozzarella, you can still eat it, but when the mozzarella goes bad, oh my God, what the hell is this? You throw it out.
Manolas' problem has always been he's mentally fragile. He's always been. I noticed at the time of Roma. Mentally, he is not. He needs to be motivated at the highest level to perform. I hate players that are like that. I hate players that are hot and cold.
Very
I like
fragile.
Consistency. He is so mentally
I
fragile.
thought Gattuso was gonna help him, to be honest. So him going to Napoli, but I don't know. I don't know what it is.
There are certain guys that when you push them, they don't respond back like, oh, I'm gonna
That's
step
true.
up. There are certain guys when you push them and you're like,
Yeah.
come on, do this. They weaken.
The thing
they
is,
go down.
when he joined Napoli weren't the team that would be fighting for the Scudetto. Napoli also dropped a little bit, which I was scared about. They weren't
But he should have
contenders
helped
for the
that.
Scudetto.
For a guy that was so good.
But when he
should
went
have helped
there, I was
that.
like, with Gattuso, maybe him screaming, him being vocal is gonna help that. But I think it's a mix of different things. I don't know. I think like Peter, give him one more shot, see what it is. Maybe it could just be a
he's
fluke
done.
of.
He's done.
I don't know. I'm just trying to salvage
Give
anything.
him one
I
more
don't
shot.
know
One
what it
more
is.
shot. Give him one more shot. About Uzo. Mike,
you're
I mean,
gonna
he's
say
20
that.
shots of
But
Uzo. If anything.
listen, Napoli going forward is dangerous, and I think the players that they have, even in the midfield, Gattuso has a good list of players, and you can never allow Crotone to come back after winning 3-1 to 3-3 and putting the points lost on the table. But that being said, I keep on saying it, but that being said, Napoli's in 4th place right now. Fifth place.
Time for
Tied
fourth.
for
Yeah,
fourth
tied
with
for
Juventus.
fourth. Yeah.
And they have a game Wednesday versus Juve that can
On points.
give them a 3-point advantage and stay and get the 4th place officially.
That's true.
So I mean, they're right where they're supposed to be. Going forward, they play and they have players that can score. Defensively, they're just poor, man. Without Koulibaly, it's scary.
They look bad.
And I
Koulibaly's
saw
not that as good as
no, Koulibaly's still
No,
good.
he's
He's
good.
still
He's
good.
definitely their best.
And the
He might
funny thing
make
is, I was
Campobasso.
looking at the goals scored, goal against. You know how many goals against Crotone has?
No.
Bro, 72 goals.
Oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
god!
Check it just to double check.
Jeez.
72 goals against.
So in other words, if you don't score 5 or 6 goals against Crotone, you should be shot,
Yeah.
right?
And you know who tied against Crotone?
Who?
We did.
And it's a campionato falsato.
Yeah.
Oh,
Both
boy.
can be true. Speaking about amazing goals, did Verde score the goal of the season against
absolutely.
Lazio?
I saw
I don't know
that.
if you guys saw that.
That was absolutely ridiculous goal against Lazio.
From Campania.
It was a 2-1. Lazio did win 2-1 with Caicedo, who for me always scores. The guy
2-1 or 3-2?
2-1. 2-1.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It might be goal of the season for me already.
I think definitely. I don't see a goal better than that. That was incredible. Just he hit it
Lukaku's goal
so.
versus Milan.
He hit it so perfectly. Pepe Reina. He go right top bins, literally incredible by him. And I almost felt bad because they lost. But that could have been the goal to get them the tie. But I said got the penalty at
As much as I hate Ronaldo, the goal that he scored against Juventus when he was playing for Real Madrid
3 years ago today.
Yeah, we're
3 years ago
saying
today. Did you hear what?
season.
Did you hear what Verde said after the game?
No.
Today was 3 years ago since Ronaldo scored the goal, and Verde said that he saw our post on CALCIO, and he said that he remembered, so that's why he went out to mimic it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Invite him to the podcast.
Should we?
All
Like
right, yeah.
Simy, but you're not gonna come then the next time that we go see him.
Well, I really didn't grasp that you guys were going to meet these guys.
Oh, so you only come with us if we get to go meet a
Yeah,
player.
you got that right.
So you're a freeloader.
I don't know. I don't get out with a bunch of losers over
Verde's
here.
also on loan from Greece, from Mike. So that's pretty
He's
interesting.
on
He
loan
went
from
there.
Greece?
From a Greek team, Mike. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell did he go do that for?
I have no clue. Oh, because Carrera was the coach at Ike, then he got sacked. Then I guess he went back.
So what do we think about Lazio, guys? They won 2-1. Correa missed. I mean, I don't know how many chances Correa can miss.
I spoke with Roberto, my friend, which is a big tifoso of Lazio, and he said, Antonio, we finished the game in 8 or 9 players because they got 2 people that were thrown out, like with red card, or 2 or 3 people they thrown
At
out.
the end.
Yeah, so I don't know for what reason. What was that fight, Mike?
One was a fight, the other one was a harsh challenge. But yeah, they ended the game with 9 men overall. But yeah.
Before we go to Roma, too, I want to remind everybody that April 16th, we have our next Calcio drop. We've got new merchandising that Michael and I are wearing at the moment. We had Antonio as our model, which people are loving your model shots. We got a couple DMs from like Armani.
But
and
did you drop the merchandising with
the We Not Dead yet?
Yeah,
it's gonna come out.
Drop
it's gonna,
April
it's
16th.
not out yet.
Drop
16th.
We're gonna drop it.
Anton,
We're gonna
point
drop
to the
it.
camera and say April 16 it drops. Don't miss out.
Which camera?
That camera right
This
there.
one here.
Yeah.
Should I walk to the camera?
No,
just
you can
point.
Guys, on April 16, there is a drop. We're going to go from an helicopter. We're going to drop all of those shirts, right? So,
ItalianFootballTV.com.
at ItalianFootballTV.com.
In the bio, there's an email list.
Bio? What does it mean, bio?
In the bio. In the description.
bio, there is a description where you're going to see me wearing some of those shirts.
Yeah.
And if I'm
Sign up
wearing
for the
it,
MLS
just buy it. If they're wearing it, don't buy it.
But the thing is, we had a couple DMs from.
What's a DM? What's a DM?
Oh,
Direct
sorry,
message.
a message, like emails.
Oh,
We had a couple emails. Armani was one of them. I think Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein?
Gucci.
Asking
Dolce
about you,
Gabbana.
about your services.
Gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, but we told him, we said no, he's not interested.
Oh.
We said he's ours and not yours.
Well, let me talk to them. Let me deal with that.
No, we can't have that.
Anton, we gotta keep you away from
Yeah,
the
okay,
big
okay.
dogs.
Peter, can we
Well,
set up
they
a
wanted a
con-
swimsuit, fashion suit. They saw you near the bridge, near the water.
Really?
They saw you
So
manscaping.
They was like, this guy in body would be good. We need a guy that's gonna be able to catch up.
Look at the way this loser is making fun of me, right?
With your slip. Think of it.
Look at him,
If you do it, you had it the manscape though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
the other day I almost I did 3/4 of my top with manscaping. Then I ran out of time because I had to go somewhere.
Wait, so just half of your body is
yeah,
manscaped and the
yeah,
other
half
half is
it's
not?
a 50-50 right now. So
Hope is the good part.
easy. Okay, so
Let's Roma.
so again, the drops guys are coming on the 16.
16.
So
Just wanna
let me
remind
just
everybody.
no, seriously speaking. Just get it because we have limited stuff, right? Then they're gonna go off the shelf. So don't come back later and say that we need more. What happened when the merchandise is sold out?
That's it.
That's,
Bye
So
bye.
why don't you guys
Mr.
produce
Hasta la
more?
vista, baby.
But why you guys do that?
Because you have to buy it when we say that it's available, and that's it. And then we do another one, and we do something different,
Different.
designs. Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
I don't know.
I think
Don't
We're
miss
Not Dead
out.
Yet is going to be the top seller. I'm already seeing it.
Hope so.
Also, one other thing, we had a Campobasso live stream on Thursday, which was one of the best. I know everyone will say I'm biased because we are working with Campobasso, but I'm usually good at calling a spade a spade. That was one of the most exciting games that I've seen all season.
That was fun.
And I know the
fun.
level is low. The level is lower. Obviously, it's Serie D. It's 4th division.
Not the way they play. Not
but
the way they play.
They play so exciting. It is attack, attack, attack. Almost Atalanta-esque, as I've been describing it.
was.
They never pass the ball backwards. In Serie A, I mean, you see these guys backwards, which I understand you're trying to build up, but it's so much fun to watch because they go direct to goal, and there are so many chances. Campobasso won 2-1 over Notaresco in a match where we had the owner, Matt Rizzetta, and Nicola Cirincione, who Skyped us in before and after
bad
the
they were
match.
not with us, Marco.
People won. I think we gave away 12 or 13 Campobasso gear, personalized jerseys, hoodies, shirts. Everybody's getting their gear. I already sent out the email. I had such a good time, and thank you to everybody who enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think people enjoyed it a lot more than we were expecting.
I-
Listen,
I didn't
Mike,
think-
let me just
yeah,
say
go.
something. Then,
Yeah.
then you go
and
on.
your song.
Go. Oh yeah, your song is good.
I never enjoy as much as a game of a Serie D the way I enjoyed watching the Campobasso with Notaresco. Like for example, today watching Inter a little bit, I was like, it's better to watch the grass grow than watching those bunch of losers just set themselves up. Campobasso, Costa, bang, bang, bang. They hit a couple times the post. They were relentless. relentless.
Vitale was
Vitale.
amazing.
And what about the coach, Mirko Cudini?
Yeah.
Yo, this guy really looks like Zucchero too, but he's got sweet on his head, but he's very sour when he runs the team. So in other words, those guys, they run and they play a great game.
They do really. Their
Very
philosophy is
clean,
great.
Technical abilities. There is 4 or 5 of those players that I know. A lot of those top teams, they're gonna try to take them away from Campobasso.
They just need to work on their finishing, and they're going to be
Yeah,
set.
they won 2-1, but it felt like even more. And yeah, the attacking was like I was surprised at how well they were attacking and stuff like that. Like if you told me it was a Serie B game, I definitely would have believed you. They play good. Even the stadiums too. The stadiums looking nice and stuff. And we're definitely gonna be keeping track of Campobasso more and all that stuff.
The biggest.
Fingers crossed they can make it to Serie C.
The biggest takeaway, that's a good point. Number one, people are asked us if Campobasso gets set to get promoted, we're all going. We're gonna go to Campobasso to film and to be there. So I think everybody's rooting for that. The content in Italy with you is gonna be hilarious. Man. Number 2, Antonio, your song has been a hit. I'm seeing everybody sending me on the Campobasso local news on their Facebook pages.
You gotta be kidding me.
Everybody's saying it.
Oh my God.
The Campobasso song that I read even the comments, and they said it was in Italian. They said we need these guys. We can't wait to sing this song in the stadium with them.
Listen, I wanted to be with the tifosi, not with sit down with all of the big guns over there in Tribune. I wanted to sit down on the Curva Sud with the guys over there, enjoying the screaming and the yelling and the chanting. Because hey, I see some of the footage. They were waiting for the bus to come back to Campobasso because against Notaresco they were playing away, and the tifosi are really involved with the team and fumogeni, chanting.
We're gonna have a good time.
What a great place to be a fan over there.
Did you hear a song?
I have. Are you gonna do a remix? I
What does that mean, remix?
Remix, like
take the words and mix them all up.
Production.
No.
We're gonna do a production with your chanting. And have like a chorus behind you and the ultras behind you.
That would be nice.
We'll do a music video
Seriously.
with the Fumogeni outside. We'll do it in Verrazzano. And then afterwards we'll have some wine and stuff after.
We have to record. We really have to put you in like a booth, like a music booth. Get a beat behind you and then sing the song.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the song?
Yeah, I remember the song. Yeah,
you weren't good with the lyrics.
Yeah, well,
how did it go?
Remember.
Don't worry about that.
Come on,
it's already posted online.
Yeah, he's getting good. He's getting good. All right,
So,
let's move on. Sassuolo Roma as we conclude 2-2. What do we say about Roma, Mike?
It was Roma Sassuolo, Sassuolo Roma.
Sassuolo Roma. What were we gonna say, P? Start us off, P.
No, I was watching that game. I actually picked that game to watch. I thought it would be a good game, and it turned out to be a decent game. Sassuolo moved the ball really, really well, the first half especially. And Roma, they got the penalty. They had a little sluggish start, but then they were able to maintain a 2-1 lead, right? And then up until, I forgot exactly when, but Sassuolo were able to score, I think in the 80th minute or something, to tie it 2-2. Sassuolo, I think, deserved getting the tie. Unfortunate for Roma and Roma fans, upset that they can't maintain, that Champions League, points, because they're a little bit behind now, right? Where they have 51 points, 51. So it's gonna be hard.
51,
you have some bit of a gap right now. But as far as Sassuolo, Inter have to versus Sassuolo team now Wednesday. They looked really, really good, and I'm expecting them to come out blazing for Wednesday versus Inter. What's the guy's name?
Raspadori.
Raspadori.
Yeah,
what a player,
good.
man.
Yeah.
Did amazing with the U21s with Italy, and then today he was the captain for Sassuolo.
Oh wow!
As a young player. And he also made a lot of stuff happen.
What happened with Berardi? Didn't play because normally
I was going to bring that up. So Caputo, Berardi, and Locatelli, De Zerbi kept him out because
national team.
Just because of the COVID cases, he was scared that it might spread. Nothing was positive, but he just did it just in case because people like Verratti was positive afterwards. And Bonucci also, so they kept him out, which was pretty. You could arguably the 3 best players didn't play, and they managed to get a draw against Roma. Merit that Roma also had some players out due to injury and suspension and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a game Roma had to win. I mean, they're falling behind, especially with the other teams slipping up. Roma had to get the 3 points here, and there's a lot of question marks for Fonseca. And Peter, you specifically a lot of I can't avoid this.
Yeah, they're always
dude,
about you.
I got so many many DMs like, you better dress as a
Yeah.
Peter. It was like giving the Fonseca the benefit of the doubt on this one. I don't know if you can blame him
He
because
knows it's coming too,
I mean,
Peter.
it just came from international break. You gotta bring that up. Yeah, everyone is shaky.
The things
so
we're
many
always
teams,
making an excuse.
It's not
always
it's
an
not a
excuse.
factor. I wouldn't say it's a factor to add on. I wouldn't go off on that, but this was a big misstep from Roma not getting the 3 points that could cost them at the end of the season.
All I have to say, and
Defend
I'll say
yourself.
I'll say it
Defend
again.
yourself, Peter.
I'll say it again.
You're going to war. They're gonna remember this clip.
Yeah, I know. I had to say it.
I'll tell you. I'll look in the camera.
Oh boy.
I'll pull an Antonio move.
Oh.
Any Roma fan that thought that Roma should be in the top 4, like guaranteed, is delusional. I'm gonna put it that way. They're
right.
There's better teams out there than this Roma team. Okay,
Such as?
Such as Inter, Juventus.
We're not discussing that. What's below Roma?
No. He
No,
said
he said
that they're gonna be
better-
in top
he
4.
said better
Oh, top
teams.
four.
If you would have said that Roma's guaranteed top 4 in the beginning of the season, I would question that. And I think they're right there. They're still there. They're in the mix of it. They lost these points, which is bad. But I think your quote, right, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
Is that
We're
your
not
quote?
dead yet.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is we're not
We're
dead
not
yet.
dead
Okay. But
Yeah.
I conti si fanno all'ultimo. You have to see at the end of the season what happens. And right now, Roma's still in it.
We're pretty close.
And
5 points.
Yeah, they're
5
still
points
pretty
from 4th.
close.
No, it's close to the end. But if they get 5th place, yeah, if
You're
they
where you're
get
supposed
5th
to be.
place, it's where you're supposed to be. Now, if you want to make a
right.
decision on Fonseca, you make the decision on Fonseca. If Roma had the objective they had to make Champions League and they didn't make it, Fonseca, thank you very much. We're going on to the next project. And there's new owners now. You know, you don't maybe have to shake things up from the get-go, but they've already made decisions with the new sporting director and everything else. The sporting director happens to be Portuguese, so there might be a reason why Fonseca stays
The reading is on the
another year.
wall.
But they'll make a decision based on what they have to do. There's no one's forced to keep Fonseca. Has he been a disappointment? For me, I say no. I think Roma plays a nice football. Defensively, they're very poor. They gave up way too many goals for the players that they have, and they spent money. They got Kumbula. Been a bust. So
Zaniolo's coming back.
yeah, Zaniolo's coming
this
back.
month,
Lorenzo
April.
Pellegrini. You got a lot of options.
2 weeks.
They're gonna need a number 9 next year. You know,
I'm not
Dzeko
sure-
looks
gotta
like
get-
he's on his way. So
Listen, to be honest with you, I agree with 90% of what you just said, Peter. But the most important thing is that Roma changed ownership in the middle of the campionato, number one. Number two, they downgrade Dzeko. When you do that on the middle of the season, given that Dzeko right now is the franchise player of Roma, so they could have worked things a little bit better instead of stripping him from the captainship. That doesn't go very well with a lot of people and the player itself. So. Being as you said, like, this is your favorite line. This is say, what is it? You always say "being as you said" or something like that.
Huh?
So
I don't know what you
I don't even. Was that English?
Yes.
Was
yeah,
that
no, Peter
Spanish?
says something all the time.
How's it go? How's it go?
What?
Say it.
You don't know. What does he say?
saying that,
No.
Having said that,
having said that,
Having said that,
wait, that's a Peter.
That's
thing?
a basic.
No, Peter said, "Oh, having said that, okay."
You do say that a lot.
Yeah, he
actually.
says
Wait,
that a
he
lot.
does. Yeah.
That's like saying
having
Allora,
said that,
no?
Yeah, you
That's
do.
just a transitional
Yeah, but he does say
thing.
that a lot.
I'm trying to copy from him right
Right.
now. You know,
Ah, you're trying to learn.
So
Just
having said that,
Just like Inter copied Juventus to win the
right.
Scudetto.
So having said that, I'm gonna steal your line, okay, Pete? So is there a copyright or whatever?
Copyright.
We'll be done in 2 minutes, Anto.
Let me just tell him I'm on the podcast. You added this thing here, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm on the podcast. Okay, that's my son. Son is my son. So having said that, again, Pete,
Bring him to play football.
I think Roma, it's where is they supposed to be, or the 6th or 7th place, and
You guys are
I'll tell you, the biggest disappointment is having the ownership. And I don't think Fonseca's got a lot to do with it. Even though Fonseca is stripped him from the captainship, I think it's the ownership that wanted to keep this guy here. They want to lay down the unwelcome mat to Dzeko because they want to get rid of him because Dzeko is at the end of his career, and I don't think they want to resign him. But that's not the way you deal with the players, especially the players that they made your team who they are still right now. Okay.
I have a question for you guys. Obviously, we're coming off international break. I have a question, and I'll give some context to it, and then I want your guys' answer. Are Italy the dark horse of Euro 2021 this coming summer? They are 25 matches unbeaten which is only 5 away from the longest unbeaten streak. Mancini tied Lippi's record with 25 games. The midfield depth, which of course we know, Verratti, Jorginho, Barella, Pellegrini, Sensi, Locatelli, Zaniolo. I probably forgot a couple. They are 18 clean sheets in those 25 games. They have 3 goals conceded in their last 15 matches. The number 9 is still a question mark. I agree. I think that for me, the final straw with Immobile and Belotti was now. The amount of chances that Immobile missed was disgrace, and I hope that from now until the end of the season, this is the downfall of Juve of Italy. Hopefully, a Keane or somebody can pop up and really become the hero. I think that will determine where this team goes. Balotelli is still the goal scorer, the most active goal scorer that has the highest goals for Italy, which is crazy.
14, yeah.
What is your guys' response to my question?
First of all, we're not the dark horse, number one.
Why
number
not?
2, this is our...
Back it up.
I'll back it up for you right now. This is our European Championship for us to lose. We have the best team to compete in Europe. Let me tell you.
Better than France?
Yes.
Better than Portugal?
Better
Yes.
than Germany?
Better than Germany?
Yes.
Anto.
Yes. Okay, we are better than anybody. That question mark that you brought
number
up
9.
about Belotti and Immobile, it's not going to be a question mark, because when
Tell
you
me why.
step into the real competition, the level of concentration and the tension among the defenders that are going to be defending those guys and themselves that are going to have to really put their life on the line, and not just their skills. Their life depends on the European Championship. I'm telling you, we're going to win this thing here. So it's only us. If we lose it, it's because we went over there and we didn't do our job. But right now, with the cards that we've been dealt, we have the best midfield, the best, not really defense, but we have the best goalkeeper, of course, as you know. And the defense is not as bad as you think that we have. I think we have all the cards to win this. No Lewandowski is going to do damage for us. There is no Müller that is going to do damage for us. Those are guys that they played the whole season on their territory, and they're going to come back all to Italy or whatever to the championship stressed out. We have the coach that he has motivated everybody, has told everybody nobody has a job on sculpted into the stone over here. If you're gonna be playing for the Italian national team, it's because you're gonna have to deserve it and you're gonna earn it. Okay, that's why Mancini is, to me so far, he has been one of the best coaches I ever seen coaching the team. Okay, he has kept everybody on the tiptoes, and I said, hey, you guys, if you are on the team, it's because you deserve it, but don't get too happy about your status right now, because it can change at any time.
I agree with that last part.
It can flip on a dime.
I agree.
Before one, just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, you're not concerned with Immobile and Belotti.
Absolutely not.
You're confident that they will be scoring goals.
No, even if they don't score, we have so many other players that they can score. Verratti can score, the other guy Barella can score. There's so many Sensi can score. Even Donnarumma can score.
Anto, I hope you're right.
I am right.
Answer my question though too.
So I don't think you're making it seem like the Azzurri are the favorites. I disagree with you. I don't think they're the favorites. I'm more online into the dark horse.
Please.
I think they can spring a surprise. Their biggest glare is not having a number 9. Germany, France, I do think they are superior. And I feel like the Azzurri really have been tested with a top, like against Germany.
It's a fair point, Anto.
Against France.
It's a fair point.
I obviously want Azzurri to win.
There's been
but
easier teams.
I'm just trying to look on paper. Yeah, they have a very talented squad. They can definitely spring a surprise. I think arguably probably the best midfield in competing with any other top team with France and Germany, yes. But the other areas, that's where it could get
That's
tough.
a very well balanced answer.
So,
and
I will go back to him, and then Peter is going to go. Let me just tell you the reasons why you're wrong. Okay.
I hope you're right. Like I said,
I am right.
Okay.
Tell him
Let
why
me
he's
just
wrong.
tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, tell me.
Midfield is the key of the game,
But not the only thing.
Listen to me, please. If you have a great midfielder that is going to protect the defense when it's time to protect them, and then do the job for moving forward, this is the key. We have the best 5 or 6 midfielder in Europe and maybe in the world right now playing for the Italian national team.
Why do you say in Europe and in the world? Maybe in the
Just
world.
say in the world.
Because we are.
But why are you saying in
I don't
Europe
see
and
any
maybe the world?
It's Euros
Because
anyway.
I know it is the Euro, but I see what else what's available in. I see other team playing. The South American and all the stuff. They don't have Barella, they don't have Verratti, they don't have Jorginho. They don't. We have too much. We can actually lend them players. Before we are shortage of midfielder. Right now we are overstacked on the midfield, and to me that is the winning formula to win anything.
Peter, your answer to my question, and then you could say what you have to about Antonio.
Yeah. No, I disagree with Antonio as far as being a favorite. I don't think Italy can be considered a favorite because the last competitions that they've played in have been poor. They didn't make it into the World Cup. This is a young team that they don't have a lot of caps. They don't have a lot of experience wearing that Italy national team jersey, and they don't have experience playing at a first tier competition. Even the guys that are playing with the Inter, the Milans and stuff, Donnarumma hasn't even stepped foot in Champions League yet. These are problems that you have to consider.
Good point.
That being said, Italy is a dark horse.
That being said, okay. Okay. So that being said, so it's
That
the
being
dark
said-
horse.
That being
Okay.
said, Italy is definitely a dark horse in these Euros. They have, because we have a certain bias, but we also are lucky enough to watch them. And for 25 games that you haven't lost, there's a reason for that. Mancini has proven that he has the guts to change things up and bring in younger players and not be afraid to try different players. And he understands that the objective is to make a perfect team for these Euros coming up. We were supposed to be already with this team last year. Ended up being in our favor that it's this year. It's an extra year for a Barella to develop, for a Pellegrini to develop, and so on and so forth. Bastoni now also could be an important part in this Italy team, depending on Chiellini, Bonucci, and the older established.
Those are the two players that worried me, the
Yeah,
Chiellini
exactly.
and Bonucci.
So-
I don't want to see them on the squad. They don't belong over there.
So it's helped. Euros tend to be harder than the World Cup. There's a lot of good teams in the European competition. And we have a very big game, the first game versus a Turkey that, you shake your head.
We'll eat them like a kebab.
They beat Holland.
Turkey? Please.
They
They
beat
beat them
Holland.
Holland.
So what? Everybody can beat Ireland.
Played
They beat
very,
Iceland.
very well. So these are teams that you have to be worried about, but at the same time, Italy's got to be Italy, and Italy has to win these games. And I think getting out of the group stage, nobody's going to want to verse Italy.
Having said that,
No,
Having
no.
said that,
I
got
say it at the
having
same
said
time.
I'm purposely not saying
That's
having said that.
Minchia.
No, listen. Any team in the Euros or in the World Cup, if you don't have a number 9 that's able to score, or somebody else picks up, there's a problem, because these games are not going to be open games. These are going to be close games, and you need guys to be able to score.
Killers.
You can say 2006 Luca Toni, technically he wasn't as prolific as he was supposed to be. He only scored versus the Ukraine, but he played a big part in that team as far as holding up the ball, moving the ball. And these are different type of positional player than, let's say, a Belotti or an Immobile. Immobile, Belotti, for me, are not Italian national team players. I'm sorry. The only reason why they're there is because as a number 9, there are not many options. They have to step it up. I don't know which one is better, because, to be quite honest, they don't impress me. I think Belotti, he works hard. Keep him on the bench. Immobile, every time he wears the Italy national team jersey, he doesn't know how to find the target. He missed goals that, Antonio, you could score.
What are you trying to say?
My grandmother could score.
Oh,
There's so
no,
many,
that's much better, okay.
Better.
Mentally weak.
But you have to be a killer. You have to finish. That's where you have to be. As a number 9, you have to smell the blood. And if you don't have that, then there's a problem. I want to see Keane, and it was unfortunate that we weren't able to see him because of injuries or COVID or whatever it was. Because this is a guy that I think can be that number 9 that sees red and goes for it. And he's playing with a PSG team that could make it all the way to the Champions League final.
Pete, this year
And he
we
scores
have
goals.
a
I like
man
what you
score.
said. I agree with you, because I think we grew up in the era where we know number 9s.
Yeah.
We know a 9 that when the pressure comes, they live. They live for they don't want the goals again.
Yeah, like Ronaldo lived for the pressure when you got eliminated by the Porto. Oh, he lived for that, right? Wow, what a pressure, man. I love to play
We're
for
already
that.
grown up. We were talking
Yeah,
about
okay,
I don't have that in his
gotcha.
pocket,
Okay.
ready to say.
I was well done. I'll give you that. What I was saying was we live with these kind of number 9s who we didn't talk about when they would score against Crotone or Spezia, with all due respect to them. When they played the toughest games, the Champions Leagues, I think about Pirlo and Inzaghi. I think about these guys those are the games that they live for. And it feels like the reverse with Italy now. So I think that's why we're hard on them, is because we know what we're used to.
Spoiled.
We know that's a number 9. They live for these moments, and it's almost the opposite what we're getting with Immobile and Belotti, where they seem very content to score in these opposite games, but then when push comes to shove, they don't have the killer instinct. And I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think that we will be.
They also play for Torino and Lazio, with all due respect. But these are not the top teams competing for a Scudetto or top teams that are going to compete for a Champions League. Whereas you see these other nations, their number 9s are playing with the Bayern Munich, with the Real Madrid, with all these top teams. So there's a difference there. When your number 9s are not coming from Inter, Milan, Juventus, there's question marks.
With all due respect, and having said that, okay, with all due respect, and having said that, I disagree with Pete, because we have 4-5 mezzale, and we didn't count Zaniolo still in.
You explained
okay, that they are very capable, and on the corner kick and on the free kick, we have defenders that can make a big difference over there. And a lot of teams, they don't have what we have. We can put our player on the position to score, not just the forward or the midfielder. Anybody can score in the Italian national team. We're not forward dependent.
100%. We're not forward dependent. But you're not going to verse Northern Ireland again, right? When you get into the Euros, you're not going to verse these teams. So when it's 0-0, 1-0, and you have a 2-2 col portiere, you're one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you don't score that, that's bad.
So let me tell you something. We're going to finish this stuff here. Let me just say something. It's better that they make the mistakes right now, because you're making the mistakes right now, then it's gonna stop. The streak is gonna end when we're gonna play the real competition.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Last games. I'll just read off the scores. Atalanta 3-2 against Udinese. Our boy Luis Muriel with 2 goals. Yeah. He's actually got 18 goals this Serie A season. He's in third. Can we just nationalize Muriel and put him in the Italian national team?
Lukaku too.
Benevento 2-2 against Parma. Cagliari lost to Hellas Verona 2-0. Genoa Fiorentina 1-1. Vlahovic scored his 13th goal of the season, over double what he did last year.
Less games.
That is all the games. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll be live this week. We're actually going to be doing some watch-alongs for the Champions League. We have a special guest that's going to be coming to watch the game with us. We'll also be live for Napoli against Juve. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Antonio, you look very confused.
When will that be, Napoli against Juve? Wednesday?
Wednesday,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
At 12:45.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inter play that day too also. What's that Swallow?
All right. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Listen to the audio also on the audio versions on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, all that kind of good stuff. As always, thank you for watching. We'll
and don't forget to open the Campobasso page, which is on our website too. Is it? And become a Campobasso fan too. Okay?
That's right.
Because we have merchandising drop for Campobasso coming up soon. Yeah. Yes or not?
Yeah.
When?
Well, we don't have exact.
Okay. All right. So we're not sure, but it's coming up soon. Okay.
Very good.
Ciao, guys.
Ciao, guys.
Thank you.
Ciao.